We're here with Senator Larry Taylor of Galveston County, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are you, Senator?
I'm doing well.
Good to see you. Thanks for taking the time to visit with us. We're here to talk about a number of issues pretty quick. First, you had Harvey, major impact on your district. Kind of give us a brief report of where things are at with the state and Harvey.
Well, in our supplemental appropriations, we put about $1 billion into education to make up for the losses from Harvey. We've got about $800 million in planning for mitigation, those types of things, another $1 billion in relief that we've been working on. So take care of the Harvey situation. I think we're, from the state level, in pretty good shape.
Do you think the plans are going to go forward to help us prevent another Harvey?
Well, one of the big projects I've been working on for a long time is that coastal barrier.
Right.
Not really so much for Harvey type storm, which is a rain event, but for the typical hurricane that we get, which is a storm surge. And we have a huge petrochemical complex there in the Houston area that's frankly wide open and unprotected beyond what the individual industries have for their own properties.
Yeah.
But that ship channel in Galveston Bay is unprotected.
So are you making progress in
Yes.
getting that program funded?
Yes, in fact, we got the money we needed for this session. The feds did give us about $4 billion in funding to do the bookends, which is Freeport and on the eastern side for Beaumont and that area. And so we've got the funding we need to do for this session to make sure that money is taken care of, because if we didn't take care of that, we'd have lost the whole project. So.
And a major ecological and economic disaster for the region.
Not just for our region. That region produces so much fuel, military aviation fuel, commercial aviation fuel. It would be a huge impact on the country. We had it closed for about 3 or 4 days during Harvey, and gas prices went about 80 cents on the East Coast.
Amazing.
So it's kind of a reminder for the country, this is an important region for us.
So hopefully the project will get done before that major hurricane that hits that will do that, because it'll come at some point.
Unfortunately, it's taken a long time to get this project done because it is a big project. But we hope to have that done before the superstorm hits our area, which, Hurricane Ike was a very close call.
It was.
The eye of the storm actually went right up the ship channel, and you saw what happened to Bolivar. If that storm had been about 20 miles further south and west, that storm surge would have gone straight up the Houston ship channel, 45 feet deep in a very shallow Galveston Bay. And you know what water does when it hits shallow water? It jacks up. And so that 50 inches of rain we got in the Houston area, you get an 8-foot storm surge, that makes up for a lot of rain in a hurry.
That sure does. You're chairing the Education Committee?
Yes, sir.
So what are the major projects there this session?
We're doing a little thing called school finance. It's done about every 50 years. But we're really trying to transform our public education system. We had a school finance commission that met for a year during the interim from January to December, right before we came in session in January. But that commission did some great work. It was a very diverse group from all over the state. We had educators, business people, teachers, superintendents, CFOs for schools, business, and all came in very diverse. And we came up with like 35 recommendations that were unanimously approved by that commission. And that's really given us a great foundation for this legislative session and a lot of momentum going into session to really get something done for schools.
So you think then the prospects of passing the reforms of I think you're on that commission, are you not?
I am.
Is it going to get passed?
I'm very confident. We've got a lot of momentum. We've got a lot of horsepower. The top three, the governor, lieutenant governor, speaker, are all on board with us. I think we get it done.
And the House, what are the prospects there?
Oh, they've already passed their bill out. We'll hear our bill next week, and we'll go to conference and get that worked out.
So you think the two bills will be pretty close?
Mm-hmm.
And how long do you think this will buy us some time in terms of school finance, so we won't be dealing with it for a number of years? Well,
there's a number of issues in our current situation that we learned in the School Finance Commission, particularly recapture. As local property values increase, the state share drops. Well, and recapture grows as well as a part of that. Well, our recapture right now has been about $1 billion. Now it's up to $2 billion. In about 3 or 4 years, it's $5 billion. And a few years after that, the recapture can actually surpass the state's portion of state funding.
Wow.
For schools.
So how are you changing recapture?
Well, by reducing the increase. The 2.5% cap on schools is not actually a detriment to the schools because it ends up with the same money. The state's making up the difference. But it slows that down, and recapture drops a lot because we're adding to the basic allotment. This really kind of gets off in the weeds a little bit.
Yeah, a little confusing.
The basic allotment goes to every school. We're increasing that. So we're reducing recapture, we're also reducing the increases in local property taxes, and we're cutting the current rate in the bills as we're working on right now. So property payers, taxpayers will see a real benefit today and in the future.
And it sounds like the school districts will benefit also.
Oh, absolutely. We're injecting a lot of new money into public education.
Well, thank you so much for visiting with us today, Senator Taylor. You're doing great work.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.